Welcome back to AI Reviews. Like always, I am your host, Lee. Today we are having an AI review Moana 2, 4 times ranging from loving it to hating it. I don't know if there was really a call for a sequel of Moana, but hey, let's see what the AI thinks.
Moana 2, released on November 27, 2024, is a vibrant continuation of the journey we began with the spirited Moana and the charismatic demigod Maui. Directed by David G. Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana Ledoux Miller, this sequel beautifully expands the beloved story, introducing thrilling new adventures and deeper cultural connections. Ali Cravalho returns to voice Moana, whose leadership and wayfinding skills are tested in new and exciting ways. Joined again by Dwayne Johnson as Maui, their dynamic remains as engaging and humorous as ever, bringing a delightful familiarity that fans will surely appreciate. For its enchanting blend of new tales and old friendships, Moana 2 deserves a joyful 4 out of 4 stars. 3 years after her initial voyage, Moana receives a mystical call from her ancestors, prompting another epic journey across the vast Oceania. The story cleverly integrates themes of legacy and exploration, pushing Moana beyond the reefs of her island to unknown territories. This plot not only highlights her growth as a navigator, but also deepens her role as a leader to her people and a big sister to her new companion, her little sister, whose introduction adds a fresh layer to the narrative. The sibling dynamic explored in the sequel adds heart and stakes to Moana's adventures, enriching the story with themes of family and responsibility. The returning cast, including Rachel House as Grandma Tala, brings warmth and wisdom to the film, providing continuity and emotional depth. The introduction of new characters, voiced by a talented ensemble of actors, injects new energy and expands the lore of Moana's world. These characters, each with their own unique stories and contributions to Moana's journey, enhance the film's exploration of community and cultural heritage. Directors Derrick, Hand, and Miller have done a remarkable job in balancing the familiar with the new. Their direction ensures that the sequel does not just retread the paths of its predecessor, but instead forges new narratives that resonate with both old and new audiences. The visual style of the film remains as stunning as ever, with lush animations and an oceanic palette that breathes life into every scene. Musically, Moana 2 continues to shine with new songs that are sure to become classics. The soundtrack, infused with traditional Polynesian instruments and melodies, complements the story's emotional and cultural journey, enhancing the film's ability to connect with viewers on a profound level. In conclusion, Moana 2 is a triumphant return to the world of Oceania, filled with the spirit of adventure, the warmth of family, and the wisdom of ancestors. It builds upon the foundations laid by the first film and ventures into new waters with confidence and grace. Ali Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson, along with the rest of the cast, bring these beloved characters to life in a story that is both entertaining and meaningful. For its successful blend of nostalgia and innovation, heartfelt storytelling, and captivating music, I give Moana 2 a perfect 4 out of 4 stars. It's a film that not only entertains but also inspires, making it a must-watch for fans of all ages.
Released on November 27, 2024, Moana 2 sails back onto the screen under the direction of David G. Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana Ledoux Miller, promising to rekindle the magic of the beloved original while charting new narrative waters. Ali Cravalho returns as the voice of Moana, with Dwayne Johnson reprising his role as Maui, ensuring the film retains the charm and chemistry that captivated audiences worldwide. While Moana 2 achieves many of its ambitious goals, there are elements within the story and direction that slightly mar its overall impact, leading me to give it a solid 3 out of 4 stars. The film picks up 3 years after Moana's first adventure, introducing a new challenge as she answers a call from her ancestors to explore uncharted waters. This setup expands the geographical and thematic scope of the story, pushing Moana into roles that test her not only as a navigator, but as a burgeoning leader of her people. The addition of Moana's little sister adds a delightful dynamic, offering fresh familial themes that explore the bonds of sisterhood amidst the backdrop of adventure. While Ali Cravalho's performance is as spirited and engaging as ever, and Dwayne Johnson brings his usual charismatic flair, the sequel attempts to juggle multiple new characters and plot lines, which occasionally clutters the narrative. The directors strive to weave these new elements seamlessly into the fabric of Moana's world, but at times, the film feels rushed, with certain plot developments needing more room to breathe and resonate. Moreover, the film introduces a slew of new songs designed to match the infectious catchiness of the original soundtrack. While many of these new musical numbers are indeed memorable, their integration into the storyline feels forced at moments, detracting from the narrative's natural flow rather than enhancing it. This aspect of the musical direction, while ambitious, does not always serve the emotional depth that the film aims to achieve. Visually, Moana 2 is a triumph. The animation is stunning, with vibrant colors and meticulous attention to detail that beautifully render the vast, dynamic landscapes of Oceania. The directors make excellent use of this visual splendor, creating scenes that are both breathtaking and expressive of the film's deeper themes of heritage and discovery. However, despite its visual and performative strengths, the film struggles slightly with its pacing and thematic coherence. The expansion of Moana's universe, while certainly ambitious and visually striking, sometimes leads to a narrative that feels disjointed. Key emotional beats and character developments are occasionally lost in the film's broader, more ambitious narrative arcs. In conclusion, Moana 2 is a commendable sequel that captures much of the spirit and beauty of its predecessor, while introducing new elements that both delight and overwhelm. While not without its flaws, particularly in narrative execution and song integration, the film provides a worthy continuation of Moana's journey. Ollie Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson, along with the new cast members, deliver performances that bring depth and vibrancy to this expanded tale. For its impressive achievements mixed with slight missteps, I give Moana 2 a well-earned 3 out of 4 stars, recommending it to both fans of the original and new audiences alike.
Moana 2, directed by David G. Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana Ledoux Miller, was released on November 27, 2024, amid much anticipation. The sequel to the much-loved original promises new adventures with Moana and Maui, played by Ollie Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson, respectively. While the film attempts to expand upon the vibrant world of Oceania and introduce new characters and plot lines, it ultimately falls short of delivering a coherent narrative, deserving only a 2 out of 4 stars for its scattershot approach to storytelling and musical integration. The film starts promisingly with Moana receiving a mystical call to adventure, setting the stage for what could have been another epic voyage. However, the introduction of Moana's little sister as a significant new character feels more like a plot convenience than a meaningful expansion of the family dynamics explored in the first film. While the idea aims to add depth, the execution is lackluster, with her character development rushed and her contributions to the plot feeling forced. Ollie Cravalho's return as Moana is welcome, and her performance retains the charm and depth it had in the first film. Dwayne Johnson's Maui provides the comic relief and charisma necessary to lighten the narrative's more cumbersome moments. Yet, the chemistry that made their previous interactions sparkle seems diluted here, overshadowed by the film's ambitious, but poorly paced plot. The musical aspect, a cornerstone of the original's success, also misses the mark in this sequel. New songs are introduced, aiming to replicate the catchy and emotionally resonant anthems of the first film, but they come across as uninspired and disconnected from the storyline. Instead of serving the narrative or deepening the character arcs, these musical numbers feel like interruptions, stalling rather than advancing the plot. Visually, the film is as stunning as expected. The animation is top-notch, with vivid colors and exquisite details that bring the magical world of Oceania to life. Yet, these aesthetic achievements are not enough to compensate for the narrative and thematic shortcomings. The director's attempt to weave new lore into the established world results in a jumbled mix of mythology that confuses more than it captivates. Moreover, the film's pacing is erratic. Key scenes that should have allowed for emotional depth or significant character decisions are glossed over, making the emotional stakes feel unearned and the characters' motivations unclear. This lack of careful pacing undermines the potential impact of the new challenges and relationships introduced, leaving the viewer disengaged and questioning the necessity of this sequel. In conclusion, Moana 2 is a visually beautiful but narratively disappointing follow-up to its predecessor. While it retains some of the original's charm and visual appeal, the film fails to deliver a compelling story or integrate its musical elements effectively.
For a sequel that had the potential to build on and enrich the story of Moana, it feels like a missed opportunity to delve deeper into her world. With a score of 2 out of 4 stars, Moana 2 may satisfy younger audiences, but is likely to leave fans of the first film wanting more.
Let me tell you, folks, Moana 2 had one job: to follow up on its brilliant predecessor without dropping the ball, and somehow, it managed to fumble spectacularly. Released on November 27, 2024, under the direction of David G. Derek Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana LaDue Miller, this sequel tries so hard to sail into new narrative territories but ends up more lost at sea than anything else. For this disappointing voyage, I'm slapping it with a lowly 1 out of 4 stars. First off, the returning cast of Ollie Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson, as Moana and Maui, can usually do no wrong, but even their charm isn't enough to salvage the wreck this script turned out to be. The story picks up with Moana receiving a call from her ancestors, which could have been a compelling continuation, right? Wrong. They introduce her little sister, a character so blatantly shoehorned in for the cute factor that it hurts. Her involvement feels like a checklist item rather than a meaningful addition to the story. And don't even get me started on the new songs. The original Moana soundtrack was a masterpiece, but the tunes in this sequel? Forgettable at best. It's like they tried to capture lightning in a bottle twice with none of the heart or soul that made the first film's music resonate with all of us. These songs interrupt the flow like commercial breaks, pulling you right out of whatever immersion the spotty storyline managed to create. Now, let's talk visuals. Sure, they're nice to look at. The animation quality is top-notch, with vibrant colors and all that jazz. But pretty pictures alone don't make a good movie. The beautiful scenery feels like a facade, masking the void where a solid plot should be. It's all style and no substance, with flashy scenes that are supposed to dazzle us enough to forget the narrative lacks depth and coherence. The directors had a chance to deepen our understanding of Moana's world, to really dive into the rich cultural backdrop and explore new dimensions. Instead, they served up a jumbled mess of mythological mumbo-jumbo that neither advances the plot nor enriches the characters. It's a classic case of too many cooks in the kitchen, each adding their own spice without thinking about the overall flavor. In conclusion, Moana 2 is a monumental letdown that does a disservice to its characters and its audience. It's a soulless cash grab that fails to capture the magic of its predecessor, relying on nostalgia and visual effects to distract from its narrative shortcomings. For a film that had the potential to be another timeless adventure, it ends up being a forgettable sequel that should have stayed on the drawing board. A generous 1/4 stars, and that's me being kind. If you loved the first Moana, do yourself a favor and steer clear of this shipwreck.
Like always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. I typically have 2 videos out per week, AI reviews like this or real reviews based on the releases. Until next time.